safeties, great job today. Thanks for making us feel welcome when we come in the door. Thanks to, we're going to talk a little bit about what the work that Lonsdale has done and about Principal Smith and everything they've done, and especially the past couple years in just a few seconds. So I just wanted to say that first. Thanks, Lonsdale. And good morning to all of you all. I want to begin by thanking you for being here today. This is an important opportunity for us to pause and reflect as a community. It's encouraging to have so many people and organizations in the room today with us. I want to begin by recognizing our elected officials in the room because we couldn't do this without them. I'll start first with our board member, Dr. Reverend Butler from District 1. Thank you. Our city mayor, Mayor Kincannon, is here. And then also City Councilman Denzel Grant is here. And I would be remiss not to mention this facility in particular, what the city has done to help us do this. If you don't know, there's not a lot of land in Knoxville, especially when you get in the center city and going back to be able to build something like this here. So they were huge in helping us do that. I know that was something very dear to Mayor Kincannon's heart and for the council to help us. So it's great to have them here to celebrate this today. So thank you all very much. Many of you will recall the first event of this kind was 4 years ago, which means I'm getting old. But 4 years ago we did this. I had just become superintendent. We'd received our school district designations from the State Department of Education. Based on our performance the year before, KCS was designated as a district in need of improvement. That was by the state. And what that means is that we were in the bottom 5% of school systems in the state. That was unacceptable. We called a press conference to tell the community what we would do to make things better for our students and that it was unacceptable. For the next 2 years, we focused on our 4 core priorities. We raised expectations. We made progress. We moved up to a satisfactory rating from the state, but even then we said we would never be satisfied with being satisfactory. I can still remember that press conference at Copper Ridge when we stood there in North Knoxville, and you know, it wasn't fun to share the results because again, in Knox County we should never be at that level, but 4 years ago we shared those results of where we were, and every year we've continued to come back and continue to do that. We said we'd never be satisfied, and today is proof of that. We've now stacked gains in reading, math, science, and social studies for 4 years in a row. I should say for a system our size, for 60,000 students, with all the variables that go in, suburban, urban, rural, all those pieces that are there, that's very difficult to do. And we've done it for 4 consecutive years in all 4 subject areas, which is pretty amazing. That kind of steady year-over-year progress is unheard of. In the last 4 years, we've increased our reading and math proficiency by more than 10%. More than 10% in 4 years. We've made gains across every student subgroup. That's one of the things I'm most proud about. You can look at a district our size and you can look and say, well, yeah, we're going up. But when you look behind the numbers and the stories behind the numbers, and you talk about students that are economically disadvantaged, you talk about students who are in need of language support, you talk about students who have special education services, we're seeing all of those subgroups make gains in these areas too. So that for us is saying it's headed in the right direction. That's been a tremendous achievement and is a testament to our educators, our principals, our district leaders, and you all, our community. Education is an exercise in continuous improvement, and we take that very seriously at Knox County Schools. Success for every student is our goal, and we won't stop until we've reached that mark. That's why we've had conversations like these. We're here to share today our 3rd annual report. Hopefully you got one when you came in the door. Our Lonsdale helpers were passing that out for us. And you also see the signage about some of the data that you may be interested in specifically. That's all included in this report as well. This annual report is a publication that we put out each year to report our progress as a district, what worked and also what didn't work. It's important for us to do that. These conversations keep us accountable to the community and hopefully keep you connected to our work. In this annual report, you'll find a summary of our annual action plan. What is our annual action plan, you may ask? This is a set of objectives that we establish with our board every year to ensure every layer of the district is moving in the right direction. This year we had 37 objectives. We met or accomplished 23 of the 37 goals as a district. We also made significant progress toward 10 additional goals. And we fell short on 4 of the 37. We own that too, and we got plans to improve that. The annual report details the strategies we use to reach these goals. We often say this, you hit a number, and we say this so you don't miss this, we're not chasing numbers. Behind every number are more students. We talked with principals yesterday, and we were able to break down when this happened in proficiency, 200 more kids, 1,000 more kids, right? That's what this is about. It's the students at the center. So we're never chasing a number. The numbers mean students being successful. And so the annual report details these strategies. I always say this too, if we hit a number, do we know how we did it? Can we do it again next year, right? That's what's really important. That's how you know the systems are in place no matter what happens, no matter if funding changes, no matter if you get more snow days, not that that's on anyone's mind, no matter what those things happen, all those could be factors that play into that, right? And we need to make sure the systems are working. So that's what you'll find in this annual report. It also calls out where we need to dig deeper and how we need to plan to scale strategies that are working. I've asked our 4 superintendents to share some insights into the work of their division and to preview some of the work that they'll be doing in the year ahead. I just want to say this for these guys, we work closely every day. They push me every day. I push them every day, and that makes a huge difference to have these kinds of leaders in the district. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent of Academics, Dr. Keith Wilson.
Thank you, Dr. Reiswick, and thank you for everybody who's come out to join us this morning. So as Dr. Reiswick has highlighted, obviously we're here excited to celebrate some of the academic progress that we're seeing across the district, which is a direct result of the focus and intentionality of our teachers every day in the classroom and the hard work of our students. We've also recognized how important school leadership has been to these results. The instructional improvements that we've made over the last several years are grounded in the work that we've done side by side with our principals. Our partnership with school leaders has shown us what can be achieved when we provide them with clear direction and support. In fact, by listening to our school administrators, we learned that more could be done to support them in their development, to increase their skill sets, and also to ensure that we have qualified and prepared leaders for the next generation. Their feedback led to the development of a principal playbook, establishing shared leadership goals and common expectations across Knox County Schools. The playbook defines leadership across 6 domains and operationalizes leadership through practical plays that turn vision into consistent daily practices in our school. We've just begun to roll these plays out, but we're focusing first on things that are going to support our school leaders with managing and growing their leadership teams. As a big part of why we're here today, we're excited to recognize a number of our school principals, leaders who have been really leading the charge when we think about the academic progress that we've been making. And based upon last year's academic outcomes, we have 18 schools in Knox County that earned a reward school status, matching last year's total and signaling sustained academic growth across student groups. These results reflect consistent focus on high-quality instruction and alignment between the leadership at the school and the staff. Principals and teachers in these schools use common language to define and reinforce best practices and leverage high-impact instructional strategies to drive improvements. Now, we will be recognizing the 18 schools and the principals who received the Reward School recognition this year. And as I call your name, we're going to ask principals to come to the front. I believe Corey will be directing them as to where we're going to have you to stand. So to start off, we're going to recognize Amherst Elementary School and Principal Trina Spista. Bluegrass Elementary School Principal Casey Cutter. He is a designee here this morning. So. Bricky McLeod Elementary, Susan Hutton. Christenberry Elementary and Principal Tanya Cash. A.L. Watts Elementary and Principal Tracy Marsh. Farragut Intermediate School and Principal Suzanne Parham. Farragut Middle School and Principal Greg Adams. I'm seeing a pattern here. Farragut High School and Principal John Bartlett. Gap Creek Elementary, Principal Carl Whipple. Gibbs Elementary, Principal Joe Cameron. Hardin Valley Elementary and Principal David Claxton. Mount Olive Elementary and Principal Jennifer Atkins. Come forward. Pleasant Ridge Elementary and Principal Jennifer Morrell. Sequoia Elementary, Principal Shay Seiler. Shannondale Elementary and Principal Renee Rapika. L&N STEM Academy, Principal Jim Allen. North Shore Elementary School and Principal Kim Harrison. And Career Magnet Academy, Principal Charlene Lewis. Let's give one more round of applause to all of the schools and the staff and students that they represent. Student achievement has increased consistently across ELA, math, science, and social studies, with both ELA and math increasing over 10.7% over the last 4 years. To further our focus in these areas, we've recently engaged in piloting an instructional coherence initiative, providing students more aligned learning experiences and materials across all learning environments, the core classroom, academic interventions, and special education. In these pilot schools, students who experienced academic interventions that were aligned with core instructional strategies and materials demonstrated, on average, an additional 1.3 months of literacy growth. These gains were achieved without adding time or staff, positioning the model for a potential district-wide scaling. And finally, we are here today at Lonsdale for a purpose. There's a reason why it was selected. Here in Region 5, Lonsdale Elementary exited the CSI, or priority status, that is designated by the state. This is a reflection of their sustained improvement in student achievement and growth, and driven by strong leadership, focused instruction, and aligned supports. This milestone shows what's possible when a school builds systems for long-term success and stays committed to meeting the needs of every student. And with that, we'd like to recognize the principal here at Lonsdale, Will Smith. So on behalf of the Academics Division, I want to thank you again for being here today to celebrate the great work that is happening in Knox County and the work that these leaders are leading in their schools. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Brown.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. As Dr. Wilson said, I'm Andrew Brown. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Student Success for Knox County Schools. And in the Division of Student Success, we exist to remove barriers to education for all of our students. So we oversee the departments of special education, our ELL services, our student discipline, as well as our school culture department. First today, the great news is I'm not going to talk about adults, and I'm not going to talk about the great things we've done. I'm going to talk about our kids. As you all came in today, the first thing I want to highlight is probably, as Dr. Reiswick talks about our 4 priorities, and we talk about success for every student, and we talk about excellence and foundational skills, and we talk about great educators in every school, I think the first thing that I'm going to talk about today exemplifies the success we have in all of those areas. As you all came in today, you may have met some of our Project Search interns. These are graduates of our high schools who are now, because they haven't aged out of special ed eligibility, we continue to serve them in a partnership with the Sertoma Center. And so you may have seen some of them today hosting our coffee in the back and mingling around talking to people. I want to say a special thanks to Michelle Pittman, who organizes that program, and also all of our teachers, Raven and Shannon and Miller. I don't see Miller, but she's here somewhere. Really cool. Last year we got to expand our program into a school partnership, which is very unusual. This program started at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and so it's a program that they have designed and we partner with. And so we started our partnership with Covenant at both Park West and at Fort Sanders, and so we've had agreements and partnerships working together with community partners in the hospitals. Last year, we added a third project site at one of our own schools. So through our Human Resources Department, we now partner with Knox County Schools, and we have on-site interns working at Sarah Green and with our Operations Department doing things all across the district. So that's really exciting. So as I said, Project Search provides students who have already completed their K-12 education the opportunity to continue growing in work-based skills and helping them to become career ready for the rest of their life. Last year we had 21 interns that completed over 18,000 hours at our 3 different sites. And I can tell you that 100% of our graduates were gainfully employed after that is over. And you may have even seen some of the success stories on some of our news channels where we have some of our students who are living independently. And I just want you to know these are students who have been with us for 13, sometimes 14, 15 years. And for them to be successful and to be able to live independently on their own is really a huge accomplishment. So if you get a chance today, talk to some of our interns. They're great kids. That's right, Maddie, stand up and wave at them. Tell them, Jonathan, you guys want to stand up? Everybody? Yenny? Hey, Kenneth, stand up and wave at everybody. Silas, you guys stand up. Yeah. So you'll notice each of them have different colored shirts on, so our interns from Fort Sanders are wearing the red shirt. Our interns at Park West have the baby blue, and then our interns at Sarah Green all have the royal blue shirts on. So they do a great job, and I know that our operations department has hired 3 of them on full time. So we've got them working at some of our schools as custodians, working in food services and giving back to the schools that gave to them for so many years. So it's really exciting to see them come full circle. Secondly, I'd like to highlight our English Language Learning Department under the direction of Miss Alicia Jones and our supervisor, Miss Jennifer Long. KCS serves over 5,000 English language learners across more than 120 languages in our district. Our ELL exit rates last year increased from 7.8% to 12.3% through the ELBA 21 assessment. So for those of you who don't know, that's the assessment we use to determine the level of services that our ELL students need. And we saw 4.5% increase in students who have exited out of needing ELL services and are able to be served full-time in our general ed classrooms without any kind of supports. So clear data and progress monitoring has really helped our teachers to target instruction and continue to motivate students. And lastly, I would like to highlight some of the gains that Dr. Reiswick already mentioned for our students with IEPs. Again, KCS has over 9,000 students who have IEPs across the district. And over the last 4 years, our proficiency rates have increased in both English language arts and math. We know this is due because we have increased exposure to general education. I know we have principals who are sitting in this room who've had conversations with who are pushing for inclusion, who are pushing for co-teaching. Our special ed staff meet on a quarterly basis to look at every single child with an IEP in the district and track their data and see the progress that they're making and report that back to schools so that we continue to modify programming to make sure. But really the key success and what we're seeing the most success with is getting students in the regular education classroom, letting them have the exposure to those high quality instructional materials that Dr. Wilson mentioned earlier, and those pilot programs that we're running and ready to scale across the district. So building on insights from our district-wide analysis last year, so that was one of the big things that we accomplished is we did a district-wide analysis of our special ed programming, and with a company called PCG. This year we are in the process of building and launching a special ed strategic plan under the leadership of Dr. Carr, our Executive Director of Special Education. So he's spending this year doing a 1-year sprint to build that strategic plan, and that will be followed by a 2-year implementation, and then 2 more years following to monitor and adjust before we take another look at it in probably 4 to 5 years and see again what things that we need to adjust and improve. You've probably heard Dr. Reiswick say many times, we are seeking continuous improvement, and we know that this is a cycle and a way that we can continue to do that. So we're going to create a clear path and a phased path to strengthen instruction, continue collaboration with our academics department, and consistent support for all students. So again, I'm excited about the work, and thank you for all the leaders and the work that you're doing in the schools. Thank you, community members, for being here today and the way you support our programs. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Jennifer Himmelgarn, our Assistant Superintendent of Business and Talent.
Thank you, Dr. Brown, and thank you again to the staff and students of Lonsdale for hosting us today. Jennifer Himmelgarn, Assistant Superintendent of Business and Talent, and I am excited to share with you all a little bit about what you can read more in the annual plan, in the annual report. In 2022, the district began the school year with approximately 80 teaching vacancies, meaning more than 2,000 students started the first day of school without a teacher in their classroom. We know that a high-quality educator in every classroom is the strongest strategy to impact student outcomes, which makes staffing our top priority. KCS is proud to have achieved 2 years of near zero vacancies on the first day of school. That's roughly a 91% reduction in vacancies compared to just 2 years prior. Key strategies that we've implemented include bringing all of our staff members, including our teachers, to a market value pay, streamlining hiring systems through pre-screened interviews and real-time applicant tools, improving onboarding, mentorship, and early career support to help our educators succeed from day one. These efforts have resulted in a 92% retention rate, providing greater stability for classrooms, schools, and students. Another strategy we've implemented is flexible use of resources at the school level. Principals now have more flexibility to design staffing models within existing allocations, allowing the use of their resources to better reflect the needs in their specific school, their instructional priorities in their school, and their specific student needs. Schools can redesign positions to strengthen instruction, improve communication, and expand student supports. This shift empowers our leaders to create tailored solutions that fit their unique communities. We mentioned bringing all teachers to market value pay. You may remember we made a very large and very well-deserved investment in all of our staff a couple of years ago. The 2028 promise is a commitment, our commitment, that was not a one-time investment. Knox County Schools is committed to maintaining market value wages for every team member, advancing our salaries on a structured step system that ensures competitive pay for all positions in the district. To stay aligned with market value, the district will conduct a comprehensive market value assessment every 3 to 5 years, realigning salary schedules as needed to support long-term recruitment and retention. We look forward to continuing each of these commitments to our schools going forward and partnering with other divisions and continuing the work. And with that, I will turn it over to Dr. Garfield Adams.
Thank you, Ms. Himmelgarn. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Before I get started, I do want to congratulate the Reward School principals. That's great work that you all done. I got to give a special shout out to my little big brother, Greg Adams. So congratulations. So again, Garfield Adams with the Operations Division, and I'm excited to share the great work of our division. Knox County Schools approaches operations through a simple lens, creating safe, well-maintained, and future-ready learning environments for all students and staff. School safety is a strong foundation of that work. I would say that is our #1 priority. Our safety department is one of the largest dedicated school safety forces in the state. We staff over 125 officers with a combined of 1,147 years of experience. That experience is strengthened through close collaboration with local state and federal law enforcement partners, particularly in the areas of planning, training, and coordinated emergency response. This work is guided by the district's 2030 strategic plan, which commits Knox County Schools to research-driven safety practices and continued investment in modern technology, infrastructure, and strategies that enhance campus security. The same long-term mindset shapes the district's facilities and construction work. Over $110 million has been invested in new construction to ensure schools are positioned to meet both current and future enrollment needs. A new K-8 school on the former rural site will serve approximately 1,200 schools. Thank you, Reverend Butler, for your work with that project. While a new elementary school in the Farragut area will serve approximately 1,400 students in one of Knox County's fastest and growing regions. In addition, strategic renovations and additions at Halls Middle, Sturkey Elementary, and Hardin Valley Academy reflect more intentional approach to aligning facilities with the enrollment trends, instructional needs, and long-term stability. To support these investments, Knox County Schools conducted a comprehensive facilities assessment, evaluating more than 9 million square feet of educational space that is managed and maintained. The assessment confirmed strong maintenance work across the district, while also identifying outdated systems and limited efficiency for accountability. In response, operations shifted from paper-based processes to modern, data-driven tools such as Operation Hero, enabling real-time tracking and reporting of work orders. Today, asset management data informs decisions around repairs, replacements, and future construction, ensuring facilities planning is proactive, transparent, and fiscally responsible. Together, this work reflects a district that plans carefully, invests responsibly, and stays focused on creating safe, supportive schools. Again, thank you all for being here. Congratulations to our Reward School principals, and I would like to turn it over to Dr. Reiswick.
Thank you, Dr. Adams. Before I wrap this up, I want to take a minute to pause and just focus on the fact that what we're doing here today doesn't happen in every community in the state. Conversations like this aren't required by the state. Just want to make sure everybody knows that. Like, we're not required to make an annual report, an annual plan, but we do this because it's not lost on us that the community has entrusted us with your tax dollars and with your students. We owe it to you to tell you how we're doing and how we plan to continue year over year. Hopefully what you've heard today, you've realized that it's obvious that your students and your kids are in great hands. So that's important for us. Something else that will be clear is that none of this work happened alone. I kind of glazed over this at the beginning, but the finish of that story is from a district in need of improvement to 4 years later to become an advancing district, which is really difficult to obtain that status from the state when you're a large district because you have so many variables. So let me be clear, none of this happened just by Knox County Schools getting better. We said 4 years ago, and we stood with partners then and said it's going to take all of us to make this happen. And I want to call a few of those out now because they've been with us all through these 4 years. They've continued to understand our role in the community as a school system, and they understand their role in the community and how they want to help support the next generation be successful. The progress we've made is truly a result of the entire community moving and working to do the right thing for kids. People say it takes a village, and they're right. At KCS, our village includes nearly 10,000 teachers who make it their mission every day to show up for kids, to see a future in every one of our kids that they may not be able to see themselves. And our teachers couldn't do that without the support of their principals. Some of you've seen today. We talk about all the time. They run that. They make the decisions every day. They prioritize those things at that building so the teachers can be successful. We also couldn't do that without the families. We also couldn't do it without the community. In short, none of this is possible without the greater Knox County community. I want to take a moment and recognize a few of these organizations who are walking alongside us, our students, our schools, in making this possible. Dr. Brown has done a good job calling out one as a group here with us today. I'll start with Project Search. This is one that really touched my heart a lot to be able to go see that. Dr. Brown said, you've got to come out and see these students and just what they're doing and impact on the community. And so I was able to go to various sites and and very encouraged to see some of the folks, the interns with us today. When we say every student in Knox County, we mean every student. Project Search is a powerful example of that commitment. Thanks to the partnership with Covenant Health, Sertoma, and departments within KCS, we were able to offer 21 student interns, and Dr. Brown said this before, but over 18,000 hours of training last year that's invaluable for their workforce and their development. What we learned is many of those students are still employed 2 and 3 years later, which has really given them the direction in life and the independence that they need. We mentioned before, if you had a cup of coffee this morning, you got to see our kids the Project Search students in actions. Project Search does incredible work with our special ed department to give kids a runway to the workforce and to connect our students to places like Park West, Fort Sanders Medical Center, where our kids play a critical role in things like prepping for surgeries and contributing to that work. We got to see actually some of these interns loading what goes into the surgical so that when the doctors and the nurses come, they know the supplies are there. We got to see others taking care of when the rooms were finished, how to prep that for the next room. They have their checklist, they take it serious. And I was always amazed, every one of them, Dr. Brown, when we went, were like, are you finished asking me questions? I've got things to do, you know? And so we're like, hey, don't let us get in your way, you know? And so a very important work, and to hear the stories of their fellow employees there and how important they are to the work was amazing. So thank you all. The Project Search Group has been recognized. Thank you all for what you do and what you're doing for our community. I also want to take a second to recognize our 865 Academy partners. If we may have some here with us today, a lot of us are CEO champions who weren't able to be here today. Last year alone, our business partners offered more than 10,000 industry hours and experiences to our students. Excuse me, over 10,000, not hours, industry experiences to our students. That's all of our high schools fully realized. That's everything from guaranteed experiences to being out in the workforce, to shadow somebody, to guest speakers coming into the school. And it's all just not generic. It's all aligned to pathways that we've found that these students have an aptitude for and they're taking coursework with. So that's amazing. This is what allows us to prepare students for life after graduation. We couldn't do it without organizations like UT Medical. They had over 50,000 hours of hands-on experiences for our students. I think it was like 2,400 of our sophomores got to go through the simulation surgical labs at UT Hospital. Dr. Keith Gray and his team have been amazing to open the doors and say, you know, we want to be the employer for your kids when they graduate. If that wasn't proof enough of how powerful this network is, I also want to recognize a CASEL group that's a really close group to us. CASEL for us stands for our Council on Accelerating Student Learning. 4 years ago, we started this group. This group is a group of community leaders, parents, and educators who meets quarterly to strengthen our connection to the community and to enhance the community's connection to our schools. If you're currently here, if you're currently a member of CASEL or have been that, if you please just wave. I appreciate all of you guys who are here. Thank you all for what you do. It's really an amazing group from so many walks, and to hear the educators interact with the business people or the nonprofits and the ideas, and to answer the questions of, well, why don't we? Why can't we? And our team's there catching those notes and go, I don't know. Why can't we? Why don't we? So we've had a lot of good ideas come out of that. And we'll also be remiss if I didn't take a moment to recognize our incredible aftercare partners and our community school partners who extend the learning day and give our students a safe, engaging environment to thrive in long after the bell rings. We have partners in nearly 50 school sites and even more who serve students off-site. That's a huge part, the whole second shift of life, right, that happens and supports our families and supports our students. If you're from one of those organizations, community schools or aftercare partners, if you would just wave so we can recognize you as well. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate that. I promise I'm almost finished. I'll end with our most important partners, our families. To our families, you are your student's first teacher. We never want to replace that. We appreciate that that is there, and we understand how important you continue to be in the mentor for the students that we serve. We want to thank you for letting your students come to us and giving us the opportunity to be able to serve them the way that we can. If you're a KCS parent or guardian or family member, if you just wave. I think we have a lot in the crowd, so yeah. I was, yeah. We couldn't do this work without our families. We thank you for trusting us with your children and know that we take that responsibility very seriously. With that, I want to say one final thank you for everyone here today for the role you play in supporting our schools and our staff. We're far from finished, so don't hear that we're done, right? We're not getting complacent. But the progress we made is real and is lasting, and most important to me is impacting and changing the trajectory of all of these students. And I know the hearts of our team that's here on the ground, that's what motivates them every day. So I say thank you for that, and thank you for being here. With that, we'll conclude.